Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to MaxSpeedTV as we present to you the Upstate Racing League Coaches Corner Pro Late Model Series for the first time in MaxSpeedTV's history. Guys, this is an exciting night, the premiere of the league, premiere season of the league, premiere race. Oh my goodness, can I mess this up anymore? Anyways, Roger's here with me. How you doing, Roger?
Hey KR, I'm happy to be here, glad to be here. This is going to be exciting. Upstate New York, or Upstate Racing League, sorry about that. Over here on MaxSpeedTV, the super late models. It's going to be a fun night.
It is going to be a fun night. We got a lot of racing. We are at Iowa, as you can see, for 100 laps. Actually, it's going to be 108 laps at Iowa. Very, very great track for these cars. We're going to see a lot of lanes opening up. A lot of high side passing, low side passing, a lot of cars driving right through the middle as well. Our top 10 so far here in practice, you can see, is Chris Stump, Will Dravicki, Alex, stop calling me Oreo KR, Matt Coker, last season's champion, the 20 of Justin McDuff, Steph Marinek, Sean Cool in the 24, and the 88 of Jake Watson, the 70 of Dylan Canova, and Al Smith in the 96, rounding out your top 10. Up next will be an open qualifying format. It'll be exciting to see, bring you every car's qualifying. Next Thursday, November 1st, is the next race for the Upstate Racing League Coaches Corner Pro Series. They will be at Lucas Oil Raceway for the Coaches Corner 100. And then next Monday, for me, Monday, October 29th, the OP Racing Super Speedway Series will be doing their championship season finale at Daytona. So make sure you tune in for that as well. So Roger, winding down here, less than a minute left of practice. And what are you seeing so far?
I'm seeing some interesting things. These cars are all new to me, so I'm learning this as we go. I'm seeing a lot of interesting things out there. These guys are running all over the track. We're seeing some guys run low, some guys run high, and like you said, a lot of guys are going through the middle also. So I'm thinking it's mostly going to be a bottom groove track, but we're going to see some of that high line come in here tonight and make door-to-door racing.
It sure is going to be exciting. This is one of my favorite tracks, kind of one of my favorite tracks. It's, you know, not a dirt track. So Iowa and me get along very well. I enjoy driving around here in any car. In fact, won a Silver Crown race here at Iowa on the iRacing service. So it was, it's treating me good.
Well, congratulations on your win, but not everything can be dirt.
Well, I mean, why not?
Well, some of us like pavement racing, and this is pavement racing that we're going to see here tonight. So buckle up and get ready.
All right, guys. Checkered flag waving on practice session while we kick over for qualifying. We will step away for just a moment.
This portion of the Upstate Racing League's Coaches Corner Pro Late Model Series is brought to you by Coaches Corner. There's no place like home. Airborne Graphics. Arts Barbershop, White Knuckle Clothing, Best Colorful Creations, and Brian Rogers Motorsports, proud sponsor of the Brian Rogers Motorsports Rookie of the Year. This portion of the Upstate Racing League's Coaches Corner Pro Late Model Series on MaxSpeedTV is brought to you by Rumar Vinyl Designs. Let us get stuck on you. Lightning Strikes Pro Shop and Hanson's Starter Shop.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we are ready for qualifying here. As we mentioned earlier, it will be the group qualifying session. So what we're going to see is about 4 to 6 cars hit the track, spread out, and then turn their lap times. So as the field gets set up for that, we have a moment, Roger, to talk a little bit about what it takes to get around this Iowa Speedway. And for you, what do you like about Iowa?
Iowa is one of those tracks where you can actually drive it in pretty deep. I'm used to an Xfinity car, so I'm speaking on those terms. These super late models are a little bit different for me. But you can definitely drive it in deep and let it roll through the center of the corner, get on that bottom. Right on that yellow line, you want to put those left side tires, and then you can roll off the corner on the higher side. It's a track that you want to kind of keep your momentum up, even though you want to run the bottom.
You know, for me, Iowa, I usually run wherever it is fast. And it can change from time to time and even from lap to lap. So you just got to find that nice little spot and really get into the throttle. And like you said, roll through the corners as fast as you can.
Yeah, and those were Xfinity cars. These cars over here, they're a little bit lighter, have a little less horsepower, so it's going to be interesting to see who chooses what lane.
All right, the 14 of Blake Neer, he is out on track right now. Along with the 20 of Justin McDuff pulling off. Blake Neer, a rookie in this series. So we will be following these rookies very closely. AJ Hamill in the 18 machine, he is out on track now as well. So as these times start coming in, we will keep you posted with them.
Chris Stump also out there in the 89. He's driving a Toyota. These guys have some interesting cars with the Toyota, the Dodge, the Ford, and the Chevy Manufacturers Championship that they have over here.
Yeah, going to be a lot of interesting battles going on throughout this entire season. A Manufacturers Championship, a inter-team battles going on, as we talked with Al Smith and James McIntyre before this start. They have a little bet going on. The highest points finisher is going to decide what their manufacturer is for the next season.
Well, it's most likely going to be a Chevy. We know how fast those guys are.
Mark Royer in the 36 coming around right now. He is 5th place. Chris Stump, top of the charts in the 98 machine, though. So he is currently on pole position. That is the Rumar Vinyl Graphics pole position. And he will make his way all the way down pit lane. Sit at pit entrance, kind of king of the hill style, until someone is able to come around and knock him off that top spot. So there he goes. He is set up in position. Next group starting to come around pit lane and get ready to roll out.
77 of Andy Lambert in that Natty. Is that Natty? In that blue Labatt's car. My bad. 34 of Jeremy Watkins also lining up on pit road to get a qualifying run.
.77 Lambert rolling out. So he's going to get some room here between him and the next car, as Andy Lambert, a contender for the Rookie of the Year as well. In that 77 machine, a beautiful blue Labatt's blue car. Chose to run through the middle of that 3 and 4 to get a good run down this front stretch here.
A lot of rookies out here tonight, KR. Another rookie out there in the 34 car. That's Jeremy Watkins.
Jeremy Watkins in the 34, a rookie. Now, some of these guys are rookies here to the Upstate Racing League, but are no rookies to the iRacing service, as they've been around for quite a while. The 12 of Brian Rogers, he is out on track as well, running a white Pepsi car. Kind of a throwback logo on that Pepsi there. James McIntyre in the 81. He's rolling through the corner here. Right now he is in 4th place. No one has been able to top Chris's Stump lap time. So Chris Stump holding on to that Rumar Vinyl Graphics pole position for the moment.
Chris had a great run there in that first section of qualifying. It's going to be interesting to see who can top that time at a 24.15. That was one heck of a time lap.
Extremely fast. So, all right, Group 2 has been done and headed off the track. We are getting ready for our next set of cars to line up and roll out. The 88, Jake Watson. Jake Watson, no stranger to the Upstate Racing League. He is ready to get rolling. The 89 of Tom Miter. And the 65 of Jay Dubuque out there as well, as he is coming around, lining up and getting ready to roll out for his qualifying session.
45 of Doug, is that Wasaki? Wasaki, another rookie out there tonight.
Doug Wysocki in the 45. Many of you know he's no rookie to driving a car, as he's on a lot of our MaxSpeedTV broadcasts, but he is a first-timer here in the Upstate Racing League. Cars working their way around the track here. Jake Watson in the 88 on the clock. Gonna be the first one to complete a time. Working his way into 3 and 4. Gonna try and pull it down. Almost touching that yellow line. Back into the throttle, letting the car drift up to the wall. And his first lap time is good enough for 7th with a 24.381.
Doug comes through the traps. He's 10th right now on the boards. Thomas comes through in that 89 car, 11th.
The 89 machine looking very racy right now. As you said, he is in 11th place. Driving right through the middle of 3 and 4 there. Up along the wall. And across the line, he's going to go for his second lap. And his second lap is faster. He is going to set a 6th quick time in that 89 machine. Jay Dubuque in the 65. Right now he is 13th place on the chart. And he is shutting it down, so we are getting ready for our next group of drivers. However, Chris Stump still sitting in that Rumar pole position. Nobody's got a time for him just yet, but we got some more challengers starting to line up. That's the 22 of Mike Holtzclaw and the 02 of Josh Mayu.
KR, I'm interested to see what Josh Mayu puts up here. I was watching him through practice, and he was pretty quick. He's out there driving, and I believe is that the Harley? No? He might have switched it up on me. Gators Pub and Grill Performance Harley Davidson. See, there's the Harley. I knew it was there.
Mayu, another challenger of the rookie series. I'll tell you what, we got a lot of rookies, but I'll be watching for this rookie field to be some of the guys to be out front.
Like you said earlier, a lot of these rookies that are over here with Upstate, they're not really rookies. These guys have been running all over iRacing for many years. Just because they joined a new league doesn't mean they're rookies per se. Rookies to the league, yes, but rookies on the track, not so much.
The 70 of Dylan Canova, he just now is coming around to complete his first lap.
64, Tony Rice is also out there. He's another rookie over here. He's driving for Rice Motorsports.
That 70 machine jumps all the way up to 3rd place on his first lap. Might have a challenger for Chris Stump. As he's going to come across the line. Looks like he got a little bit loose off of turn 4. And was not faster on his second lap. So only a good enough for 3rd spot. Mike Holtzclaw. And that 22 machine is now 13th. And Tony Rice in the 64 He is currently in 15th spot.
A lot of close times. Dylan there in the 70. He had a great run coming through 3 and 4. Just kind of looks like he might have lost it right off 4. Little wiggle. That's all it takes is to take that ball away from you.
Sure does. And it really can scrub some speed, and he was doing all he could, digging as deep as he could. And just a little bit of wiggle, a little bit of wheel spin got in there, and that was it. So next group rolling out, that includes the 9 of Alex. Stop calling me Oreo Oreo. Alex.
Yeah, sounds good.
Sounds good. Drivers out there as well. The 11 of Brian Hacker also out there. Brian Hacker, again, another rookie here with the Upstate Racing League, but no stranger to these late models as he's a regular on the MaxSpeedTV broadcast.
Another rookie out there is that 1 of Jeremy Carpenter. He's out there. Blue Bowl Speedways sponsors that car. Carpenter Auto Sports. Rookie driving that Chevy.
Matthew Roll and the 90 machine out on track as well. Sporting Oakley all over that beautiful late model. Monte Carlo SS. We expect to see a Chevy win, but got some Fords, Toyotas, and Dodge out here. Could go either way.
Well, I think it's heavily slated towards more of the bow tie brigade.
There are a lot of bow ties out there. As the 9 of Alex is going to shut it down. He is currently in 10th place. Matthew Roll in the 90 machine. He is in 12th. Jeremy Carpenter right now in 21st spot. So getting that set for our next qualifying group is Jeremy Carpenter going to try and cross the line one more time. And just a little bit slower than his first lap. So Chris Stump sitting in that Rumar Vinyl Graphics pole position. No one's able to get past him just yet. Here comes some more challengers. Brett Bartles in the 42. Danny Dubuque in the 61. Will Dravecki in the 30. Pre-race, I got to talk a little bit with Will Dravecki of 09 Motorsports. They are down 2 teammates here as one is on a honeymoon and the other one is celebrating his birthday.
Well, that's a good reason to miss a race, I guess. As these guys do have provisionals, so they're able to miss a race here.
Yeah, provisionals are an option. As the 30 of Dravecki out on track, almost got into the wall there. Looks like he was able to rotate and keep it off the wall, so very close one for him.
Brett Bartles out on track also. He's one of them rookies. He's driving a Dodge. Brett Bartles buildings the Midwest Mafia team.
Very sharp looking paint scheme in that 42 machine. Will Dravecki inside the top 10 for qualifying for the moment. He is in 9th place. Feels like he could get a top 5 here tonight. It's a little optimistic for him as a rookie, but Will Dravecki, a challenger in that approval series, really showing his teeth during that approval series and saying, hey guys, I can drive these things. Danny Dubuque in the 61, he is shutting it down as Will Dravecki follows suit on the backstretch. Brett Bartles also
only able to come in
to
17th.
So very stiff competition out here tonight.
Everybody in that top 5 are very close together. As you got Chris right now currently sitting there at a 24.15. You got Justin right behind him in the 20 at a 24.18. So, I mean, those top 2 are just separated by a couple 1,000s.
Next, a group forming up. We're working our way through this qualifying session very quickly here. You know what? I'm enjoying getting to see each driver's qualifying lap. a little hard to do sometimes when it's a lone car qualifying in one of these iRacing broadcasts. So a unique thing that the Upstate Racing League offers, as the 5 of Rex Hoyle, he is out on track and he is getting that late model up to speed.
You got the 96 of Al Smith also out there. That's a beautiful looking car. Sharp looking car with those green accents. Al Smith, the driving coach's corners, the car. Smith Racing right here. Talked to him earlier in the day. He's excited. He's one of the admins over here about all these guys that he put together a race out here. Bunch of guys. A lot of time invested to Al, so thanks to Al for obviously having us over here too.
The 3 machine of John McNaka. He is right now in 26th place. Brian Rogers Motorsports Rookie of the Year contender. As he works his way through 3 and 4, coming oh so close to the outside wall across the line. He is going to jump up to 11th place, fastest car in this qualifying group for the moment.
Al Smith right there in the 96 puts it in 3rd place, and then he went down into turn 1 and got a little bit of the apron, threw it sideways, so he's going to shut it down after 1 lap.
So Al up into 3rd, Rex Hoyle 9th, John Manaka will be 12th, and Scott Naslin will be 15th from this qualifying group. Things are clicking off very quickly. I mean, I thought for sure someone would find something on Chris Stump, but so far he has just laid down that time and nobody has had anything for him.
He went out there early and it was probably a little bit stickier then, a little bit cooler track temp. Now all these guys are going out there with a little bit of heat and kind of being a little slippery.
24 Sean Cool rolling off. That 24 machine is going to be one to keep an eye on. Always able to lay down a very fast qualifying time. The 413 of Wayne McDuff also rolling out there. Wayne McDuff supporting the Cerebral Palsy Foundation on his hood.
The 69 of Matt Coker out there, turn 3 auto transports.
Matt Coker, last season's champion.
Ah, that's what I was looking for. I knew I had that info somewhere and you beat me to it.
Yeah, just, you know, I made sure I memorized all the notes. No, I didn't.
Ah, you had a little more time on your hands than me.
I don't memorize anything. AJ Childs in the 41. He is also a rookie. So as we said, a very rookie heavy field, but some of these guys that are rookies, they're not necessarily rookies to driving these cars. They're rookies to the Upstate Racing League.
AJ Childs is a rookie out there in the 41 car, currently sitting in the 31st position after his first lap.
I want to say hello to everyone in YouTube chat. Thank you very much for joining us as well as we watch AJ go across the line there and start to shut it down. Sean Cool only making it up to 4th place in his qualifying. So that is still leaving Chris Stump on top of the charts here, as we got one more car that has not taken a qualifying time, and that is Steph Marinak. He may not be out there to take a time. So as we wait to see how this is going to play out, the 14 of Blake Neer, he is rolling out onto the track. Blake might be getting another shot due to Justin McDuff entering the track as he was already on the clock. So they may be giving him another shot to try and make a time. Right now he is in 9th place. Down the backstretch he goes. Down into 3 and 4. Really trying to get to the bottom there. Get that car rotated. Get onto the throttle. Let it drift up towards the wall. Then across the line right through the middle of the track. And he is going to jump up to 5th place.
Quite a bit of jump there from 9th to 5th on his time. Put in that class, or that time was a 24:2:09, so quite an improvement.
So good improvement for Blake in that 14 machine. All right, ladies and gentlemen. While
we have one more qualifier actually out there, KR. Stefan Mirnik just joined the track.
Oh, good. Thank goodness he is out there. I was wondering if he was going to try and start rear of the field or turn a qualifying time. A lot of drivers in the preseason pointed to this 2 machine to be someone to keep an eye on as a championship contender. Marinak off a turn number 2 down the backstretch. Really looking for a good line through 3 and 4. Actually touching that yellow line.
The line gets a little loose.
That's going to hurt him on this lap a bit.
Got to slot him into 7th place currently right now on lap 1. Going for lap 2 as you see him. Well, it looks like he's going to pull off.
So 1 lap for Marinak, and it is good enough for 7th place. So congratulations to all of these guys. Our qualifying wrapping up there. And you know what? It is quite the event. So I'll tell you, I'm looking forward to the race if qualifying is this close.
Well, that was the first time doing qualifying like that for me, so I was trying to figure out what was going on. But hey, congratulations to those guys. Great qualifying effort right there. The 98 of Chris Stump going to have that pole.
All right, guys, as we like to do here on MaxSpeedTV, we're going to step away and play our national anthem.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, welcome back, race fans. We're about to kick this off here with the Upstate Racing League, but we got a new addition to the booth, somebody that's been a little bit late, a little bit behind schedule. We got Kelly Dahl here in the booth with us. Welcome, Kelly, to the booth.
Yeah, it's great to be back here. It's been, of course, yeah, I'm a little late, even though I've been so excited to get this season started. And I was with these guys last year in their booth, and these guys always put on a great show, as I said, the media day a couple weeks ago. And coming in just to look at these qualifying times, I mean, our top 9 times are all within a 1/10 of a second. So the qualifying, I think I caught you were saying right at the end, if the qualifying is this close, the racing is just going to be insane. And I think you're right about that.
Qualifying laps were great, as we're gridding them up right now, so we're going to get to your starting lineup. Go ahead, Kelly.
Well, it's our Beth's Colorful Creations starting lineup. Chris Stump, he's going to be on our pole with a 24.157. Justin McDuff going to be on his outside. Al Smith Jr. going to be starting in third. Sean Cool takes the second row outside. Blake Neer in that 14 machine, he's going to be starting in 5th. Brian Hacker in 6th. Steph Marinac rolling off in 7th place. Dylan Canova in 8th. Matt Cucker, definitely one to watch, will be starting in 9th. Rounding out our top 10, that's the 81 of James McIntyre Jr. Brian Rogers Jr. will be rolling off in 11th. That number 5 of Rex Hoyle, he starts in 12th. Thomas Mateer II will be starting in 13th. And on the outside of row number 7, that's the 30 of Will Dravicki.
John McIntyre, we're going to get that right sooner or later. He's going to start there in 15th. Outside him, the 18 of AJ Hamels. Then 17th is Alex KR. Stop calling me Oreos. In the 18th position, the 33 of Scott Nusland. In the 19th position, the 88 of Jake Watson. In the 20th position, the 90 of Matthew Roll. Starting in the 21st position, the 02 of Josh Mayu. Starting in the 22nd position, the 61 of Danny DeBeck. 23rd position goes to the 77 of Andy Lambert. 24th position, Brett Bartles. 25th is going to go to the 36 of Mark Royer. 26th position, the 22 of Mike Holtzclaw. 27th position, the 45, Doug Wasaki. 28th position, the 413 of Wayne McDuff III. Tony Rice is going to start there in the 64 in the 29th position. 34 is going to go, or the 30th position, the 34th car, Jeremy Watkins. 31st going to be the 65 of Jay DeBeck. 32nd position is going to be the 41 of AJ Childs. The starting shotgun on the field in the 33rd position, the 1 of Jeremy Carpenter.
So as we go, the field takes their second pace lap, and we get the 1 to go. Definitely interesting to see Chris Stump up there. Like I said, I missed qualifying. I wasn't expecting to see that name up front. Al Smith is another name that he's definitely stepped it up this year and is ready to take control of his own league here and go for the win. But watch for Steph Marinac and Matt Cucker. Those are two guys that are always very fast. They're starting behind a few drivers, but I'd expect to see them make some moves very early on.
Steph Marinac has quite a few wins here last year with the Upstate guys. Looking to start the season off right here at Iowa.
Well, as the field rounds the 4th turn, pace car ducks down, and we're going to start the long run to the green flag. Green flag now finally out in the air, and we are starting the Upstate Racing League Pro Late Model season. As look at the outside, Justin McDuff getting a great run. He's going to have a nose on the 98 of Chris Stump going to turn number 1, but Chris is going to have that advantage through the first turn, and that's going to cause Justin to go way up the racetrack and kind of cut off Sean. It looks like he had maybe a bit of a run, but now swapping positions. Chris is going to go along the high side as Justin tries to take the inside line. It looks like it's going to be Chris Stump at the line. Those are Chris will lead the first lap of the season.
Chris out front for your first lap here, but Justin McDuff right on his heels. We saw him get a little checkup coming out of 3 and check that top lane up. And look there on that inside in the 3rd position right now, Al Smith Jr. He's coming also hot on the hooks.
Al side by side with Sean Cool at the moment. Sean not wanting to give him an inch. Al is trying to take every single part of this track as he can, but that outside line is going to be kind of the preferred line through the throughout the races. They're just able to get a bit of a better run off of the corner, and now Sean is going to win that battle. That's going to allow Al to kind of slot in behind him and start running that high line. And speaking of high line, look how far up the racetrack Chris is going. He's going all the way up to that top lane and still getting a great run off the corner, but it's allowing Justin to kind of get a nose to the inside through the middle of the corner.
Chris running that outside line, Justin running the inside line, but we're still side by side back here for the 6th position. Brian Hacker and Stefan Miranak going side by side. Stefan on that outside, he's having a little bit better run off the corner. Or sorry, that's Brian getting a better run off the corner, but Stefan not going away on the inside lane there. He's holding strong.
Speaking of the inside lane, just behind him, there's Matt Cucker on the inside lane as well, and I think that's going to be the motivating factor for Steph Miranak. Steph just barely lost the championship to Cucker last season, so I think Marinak's trying to keep him behind as much as possible. Going back to the front of the field, though, side by side for the race lead, that's Chris Stump and Justin McDuff once again, looking like the outside still getting the better run off the corner, but Justin has started to make up some ground, and now look at Sean Cool. He's trying to get his name involved into this conversation here.
Sean Cool wants to come to the dance, but there's a number 14 sitting there in 5th place. Blake Neer, he's also coming, along with Al Smith. Al Smith sits there in the 4th position.
Coming off turn number 4, another run on the outside for Chris Stump keeps Justin McDuff at bay, but McDuff trying to make that inside line work, and it's working through turns 1 and 2. It's not working through the final turn, and he's able to get his nose up to the inside quarter panel of Stump, but Stump just has that better run off of the corner, but no one else is really going all that high up. Now looking back in the field, Steph Marinak's seeing what's working up front. He's trying to make a move, trying to work that outside line just like Stump is doing, but it looks like maybe later on that outside line might not be the best because Justin McDuff's getting his nose closer and closer to the front end of Chris Stump every lap.
Watching these top 3, they all have a different line into the corners. You see him go into 3 and 4. Chris to the outside and Justin to the inside. Is Justin going to have a nice run off 3 and 4? Can he hold that momentum? Looks like Chris Stump's going to hold him off another lap. He's going to fall back in line there. They're going to go nose to tail again going into 1 and 2.
Speaking of momentum, there's Steph Miranak making a great move to move himself up into the top 5, trying to create as much of a gap to Cucker as possible and maybe try to make a challenge for the race lead. And going back to the race lead is Justin McDuff almost getting himself clear of Stump that time around, but Stump just running down the hill on that the huge banking here at Iowa to really take away the laps led right at the line. But now they're going to go even up throughout the corner. McDuff actually not even getting cleared that time, and now maybe McDuff can try to throw a slide job here as he's going to maybe get the advantage out of the corner, but Stump actually just able to hold him off for for the time being.
Justin McDuff trying that slider in 3 and 4, not quite enough room. He's tried it the last 3 laps. He gets a great run here off turn 2. Can he go door to door with the 98 going into turn 3? As he's not gonna, he's gonna fall back in line, and there he goes back to the bottom as the 14 comes in real hard on the inside. He's gonna go to the inside of Sean Cool. Side by side here off turn 3 and 4. Ooh, as the 98 bobbles at Chris there on the outside. Looks like he might got a little piece of the wall.
Yeah, it looks like the 98 Stump did scrape the wall, and that's going to give McDuff maybe a bit of advantage because Stump always had the better top speed through the front straight because of coming off the corner on the high side, but scraping the wall is going to kill off a bit of that momentum. And now look at McDuff on the inside. He's going to be clear of the 98 coming off the corner. He's going to slide up in front, so the race lead is now going to be taken over by Justin McDuff, but the battle's not over just yet. The 98 can't make a counterattack, though, because Sean Cool makes a run up the inside. So now Sean Cool trying to move himself into second place. Not quite clear the 98 just yet.
As all this is happening, Stefan Miranek, he is coming. He is wheeling them in. He got around Al Smith a couple laps ago, and he's just kind of sitting there in 4th place watching these guys battle as the 24. Sean Cool's going to slide up in front of the 98 as he's going to go back under him at the start-finish line. See if Chris Stump here can get back around the 24, as it looks like he's ahead of him right now going into 1. Almost gets to the bumper of the 20, also going through 1 and 2. He's going to slide up right in front of Cool. Cool's going to jump to the bottom again, going down the back.
And when he jumped to the bottom, he cut off Steph Miranak, who had a run coming out of turn number 2. So Sean Cool not only is challenging for a position ahead of him, but also having to worry about that position behind him as Steph Marinak's continuing his charge to the field. Started 7th, he's all the way up to 4th, and he wants more. gets right up to the bumper, the 24 that time through turns 1 and 2, and now he's going to go to the inside down the back straightaway. Just got his nose into the corner panel, trying to see if he can make a move into turns 3 and 4. As Stump still trying his high line throughout those last 2 corners, but now it's seeming like the high line is still the line to be at, because Sean Cool got a huge run on the outside on Steph Marinak, and Blake Neer kind of followed him through, and now Blake's trying to get around the 2 car.
Blake trying to get around that 2 car, going down the backstretch into 3 right here, but that number 2 is not going away. He's holding that inside lane just fine, as he's saying there's enough grip down here, let's run side by side, but let me get around you. Going down the front stretch, he didn't have enough into 1 and 2. Out front still, that 20 of Justin McDuff is running away with it right now.
Yeah, McDuff's got the clear track now. He's just running some fast laps, trying to open up the gap over Chris Stump. Chris still trying his high line as the 3 cars behind them battling for that 3rd place. Sean Cool, Steph Marinak, and Blake Neer. You could throw a blanket over those 3 cars as they are just nose to tail, side by side as the 2 and the 14 going into turn number 1. And really, you can't tell which of these cars is going to win this battle just yet, because they are all evenly matched.
Evenly matched going down the backstretch door to door. They're coming up there. They're gonna Mirnak looking to the inside. He's going to get the 14 right there, but he's going to lose a little momentum off that Cool was in the wall there as he came off the corner also in the 24. That's going to leave a little bit of opening for the 2. Now, can the 2 take advantage and go to the inside as we work through 1 and 2? Down the backstretch. Now they're door to door. Sean Cool and Stefan Mirnak down the backstretch. And
Blake Neer is just penned in behind them, and he had to check up when Sean Cool hit the wall last time around. He had the momentum on the high side, but because Cool scraped the wall, he had to slam on those brakes and slow down to make sure he didn't rear end him. But now door to door is Marinak and Cool, the 24 and the 2 machine, battling it out now, giving a bit of advantage to the 2 on the inside down the back straightaway. And now Blake Neer switching lanes. He's trying to see if that inside line's faster, as they're trying to make move around Sean Cool. Sean kind of losing out here, getting a bit loose off of the corner, but holding on to it, getting a great run, but nowhere to go with Blake on his inside and Marinak in front of him, giving a bit of a bump to Marinak. Oh, Blake Neer gets loose. Blake Neer nearly spinning it around. He's spotted on the apron, but there will not be a caution because he is off the racing surface. So there goes the chances of the 14 machine. He's now going to have to hope for a caution to come out. Comes back onto the racetrack, does not trigger the caution though. Oh, we got another car going around. There's another car going around in front of Blake Neer.
Looks like of Scott Nelson. Ryan Hacker also around in that car, that 11 car.
And Scott Naslund lost it in the 33. Looks like all of those drivers spun it onto the apron. One thing about Iowa, the apron is absolutely massive, and cars kind of want to go down there when they spin, so that allows the racing to stay green, as a car spun on the apron does not trigger the caution. So thankfully we are staying green. Justin McDuff now still in the race lead. Steph Marinak now all on his own as he's cleared Sean Cool, but now Matt Cucker trying to see if he can make his way back towards the front. He's sitting in 5th now after starting in 9th. He's trying to chase down Sean Cool at the moment.
Watching these front 2 guys, they're running 2 completely different lines out here while they're out front in the cleaner air. Justin McDuff's going to run that inside lane usually. Oh, there's a yellow. Got a yellow out there.
Caution out on the racetrack. Trying to see where it is, and it seems to be Al Smith. Lost control of his car. Well, it's looking like he lost it where everyone else lost it, just in that middle of turns 1 and 2, and just kind of got loose as he transitioned to the 2nd turn and wasn't able to hold on to it. He spun onto the apron, but unfortunately it did trigger the caution before he got down to the apron. So that's going to allow everyone to bunch back up, and we're going to see now when we go back green, Chris Stump is going to be on the outside of McDuff, and we've seen that he's been pretty fast on the high line.
McDuff's been running the inside, Chris has been running the outside, so Chris, I guess you're going to say he would have the advantage here once we go back racing on that outside, getting the momentum off 1 and 2. But don't sleep, Stefan Mirnak right there in 3rd place. He's been running that inside lane. He's going to start there on the inside, so look to him to drive it down into turn 1 and see if he can get a run on that 20. Also, force him to the middle lane.
Well, as the drivers slow it down and take a break, we're going to step aside and take a quick break of our own, but don't go anywhere. You're watching the Upstate Racing League Coach's Corner Pro Late Model Series.
This portion of the Upstate Racing League's Coach's Corner Pro Late Model Series on MaxSpeedTV is brought to you by NHR, Eddie's Meat Market, Devil's Bowl Speedway, Vermont's fastest half mile, Atomic Graphics,
MaxSpeedTV would like to thank our partners here at MaxSpeedTV, starting with the Colby Eye Paints. If you're in the market for a new paint job for your car, check out Colby's Eye Paints on Facebook. Need a replica paint of your real-life car? Colby's Eye Paints has you covered. Check out Colby Eye Paints on Facebook. Also by Hershey Design. Hershey Design Company is your one-stop graphics shop. If you're in need of an iRacing paint, league, team, or business logo, or want the logo on some sweet swag, hit up Orion at the Hershey Design Company. You can find them on Facebook by searching HERSHY Design Company. Also by the Sim Speed Shop, simspeedshop.com. You can check them out for all your iRacing sim needs. Ohio IndyCar League jumping on board this season with as an official sponsor of MaxSpeedTV. They are also accepting not just patrons from Ohio, but from all over. Also iBog for all your iRacing broadcast overlay graphics done specifically by Jason Allison, one of the masters at it. So thank you to Jason. And also, last but not least, Wise Guys. You can check them out at Reverb Nation. That is spelt with a Z. So check them out on Reverb Nation. We would like to thank all of the sponsors at MaxSpeedTV and partners.
Welcome back to the Upstate Racing League Coach's Corner Pro Late Model Series on MaxSpeedTV. As we're slowly getting ready to go back green for our first restart of the season. Lights, I believe, are still on the pace car. Yes, they are. So that means they've got at least 2 more laps to go. And really, it's going to be interesting to see what's going to shape up after this this restart, because we've just seen battling throughout the top 5 and really throughout the entire field ever since the drop of the green flag.
Yeah, we've been wanting to show a little bit of the back of the pack, but we've had such great racing up here between Justin McDuff, Chris Stump, Stefan Mirnack, Sean Cool, Matt Coker, all of them guys up here having great battles. Unfortunately, the 96 of Al Smith, he was up here in the beginning of the race, you know, tossing and turning around up here. Unfortunately, he looped it. He's now back in the 31st position, 3 laps down.
Yeah, there's a number of drivers that did end up losing out on this, and now Justin McDuff did get the lane choice for that start. He's going to elect to take the outside line, and that's not too surprising because Stump really was dominant on that outside line. And as much as McDuff liked the inside line, I think it's to take away the high side is probably the better call and allow him to defend that first place. And now we have to keep an eye on Mirnack as well. He's been pretty good on the inside lane. He starts on the inside this time by Yildiz being led through turns 3 and 4. Pace car now down and away. There they go. Pace car,
it's a little slow.
Pace car down and away, and McDuff getting a great jump on the start, and that's going to allow him to get way clear of that 98 machine of Chris Stump. And taking a look at Sean Cool. Sean Cool got a good start there, and he's going to roll on that high line. Maybe going to get his nose to the inside or to the outside of Stump, and he will just barely get himself into the mix there with Stump. And now looking just behind them, a little bit of a taste of last season's championship battle. There's Mirnack and Cocker side by side for that 4th position.
Stefan Mirnack and the 69 of Matt Coker running side by side, door to door, inches apart, going through turn 1 and 2 as they roll down the backstretch. You see a couple guys back there bobbing and weaving, getting a little loose coming off the corner. But up front, we're still side by side here for the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th position. Throw them under a blanket. They're all right there.
John Cool now sliding in behind Stump, and Cucker getting a bit of an advantage off of the high line there, but still not quite clear of that 2 machine of Marinac. Now going to get clear as they go out of turn number 2. So now the front 5 are in single file just behind them. Look at James McIntyre Jr. and Jake Watson. Watson coming all the way up from 19th. He's now in 7th, wanting 6th place. So he's our big mover so far, at least in this top group. Gonna actually get him at the line. So Jake Watson now up to 6th from 19th, and that 88 machine is on a mission.
2 other guys on a mission, the 9th and 10th place, the number 30 of Wilt DeVecchi, he's on a mission. He started 14th. The 10th position right now is currently the 18 of AJ Hamels. He started back in 16th. Both those guys moving up, working well, coming through the field. Is the 88 of Jake Watson is still, well, now they figure it out. Now they go single file.
Now single file throughout the first, I think now we're nearly the entire field is single file as everyone's kind of found that high line. And one thing that will mean, though, is the high line is going to heat up a bit faster. Now everyone's trying out these different lines through turns 3 and 4. Stump still way up towards the 3rd lane, out towards the wall. It's been working somewhat for him, but the line did allow McDuff to get around him earlier. Now looking at Matt Cucker, he's going to get his nose to the inside of Sean Cool. So now we're getting a bit of a battle there for our 3rd place, and Cucker wanted to pick up where he left off last season. He's now going to slide around the 24, get back up in front of him for a little bit of a slide job, and now the 69 machine is in 3rd place, and I don't think that guy is done just yet.
69 taking over that 3rd place from Sean Cool. Now on the attack is going to be the number 2 of Steven Miradek. He's going to look to the inside of Cool as we work down the backstretch. Does he have enough?
The yellow flag is out.
Oh, there's a caution somewhere again.
Caution on the racetrack. Going to take a look, try to find who it was. Looks like it's Doug Wisaki. Not able to see what happened to that race car, but that car is running damage now with a bit of damage to the rear end.
Yeah, he was working down the backstretch behind the 113, and all of a sudden he had disappeared, and I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, a little bit of gremlins in the works going on right now as we lost track of what happened to that race car, but it did bring out a caution, and he's running with some damage right now, so he's probably going to come down pit road and take the hammers to that left rear quarter panel and maybe see if he can get himself back into this. Oh, nearly actually rear-ending the field as he caught back up to him, but that car nearly made his night a bit worse, but able to just make a quick evasive move, but he's still going to have to he's one of the few Dodges out on the racetrack, so those drivers that are hoping for the Dodge champion, or Dodge winning the manufacturer's championship, are going to hope that this guy can get that car back out on the racetrack.
As he is one of those lone Dodgers, there's only a handful of them out there, but he's got some substantial damage. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get that beat out enough here under caution to be even a contender or get up to speed. As you know, Iowa, it's a short track, but it still plays a big factor on your aero here with these cars.
Yeah, with these cars, this track seems absolutely massive and has extremely high banking, really compared to some of the tracks we'll be racing throughout the season. This is a 0.88 mile long track, and I think it's possibly one of the longer ones we'll be going in this season. So you can draft a little bit. You'll see a few times these drivers going into the high line, nose to tail, and some of those, if the guy's on the inside, the high line's going to get a better run, not just because of the banking and running off that banking off the corner, but because if he's got a few guys in front of him, he will get a little bit of drafted. It's made a difference a couple times.
Yeah, as we saw early on, the number 98 of Chris Stump, he got into that wall, so kind of thinking that kind of put a damper on his little parade that he was putting on around that outside, took a little momentum away from him. But the 20 of Justin McDuff, he's just putting on a clinic right now ever since he got in that clean air. He's just been able to hold Chris back there at bay. Justin McDuff has led for about, I think it was 20 laps here already tonight. 27, my mistake.
Yeah, 27 on the clock for that 20 machine, and definitely going to have a few more guaranteed for him as we continue to pace around this track. So 27 out of the 108, that's already a quarter of the race led for that 20 machine, and I think he's hoping for these cautions to keep coming out, because while everyone else still kind of battles for position all bunched up, he's able to get these clean jumps off the start and able to open up a bit of a gap. And also, while they're under caution like this, he doesn't have to worry about someone trying to make a pass on him.
He doesn't have to worry while he's out front, and unfortunately we've had one car pull up behind the wall, and he's going to be done tonight. That's going to be the 11 of Brian Hacker. He was involved in that little incident there with the 33. So his day is done, unfortunately, out of the first race early.
Yeah, definitely an unfortunate situation for that 11 machine, but I'd expect for him to come back next week and try to make up for for this loss of points, really, and try to maybe salvage the start of the season for him. But throughout the field, taking a look at a couple big movers that we have, we mentioned the Jake Watson. He's moved up from 19th to 7th. We also have Will Javicki and AJ Hamill going from 14th to 9th and 16th to 10th, along with Alex Oriens, who has moved from 17th to 11th, and Brett Bartels, the number 42 machine, coming from 24th all the way to 13th, and he's brought along with him Andy Lambert, who started on his inside in 23rd. He's moved all the way up to 14th, so there's a couple drivers that didn't qualify well, but they definitely do have the race pace.
You definitely have to watch out for that 88 of Jake Watson. As you said, he started 19th on the grid here tonight, currently sitting in that 7th position, so watch for him to continue and move his way up through the field as these tires wear out. We're going to see some good racing. The lights on the pace car are off. We're bunching them back up here. They're getting side by side. We're going to let these guys turn loose once again. Justin McDuff's going to take that outside away again from Chris Stump, as we've seen him dominant on the outside. That's where he kind of likes to run, so it's a smart play again by Justin McDuff to take that outside lane. John Cool's going to start on the outside also there. Matt Coker in the 69 on the inside there, right behind Chris Stump. Waiting on that Mustang. That Mustang finally gets off the track. Justin McDuff on the loud pedal. We are back racing here at Upstate Racing.
McDuff getting a great launch off the restart, getting a good run to the first turn, but almost seems like he checked up a little bit on the high line as we go on board, looking at the field charging behind him, and just behind Sean Cool again, trying to make a move for the second place. He's going to pin Chris Stump down on that bottom line, and Stump's been on the high line the entire time. We haven't seen what he's done up against that yellow line yet. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can adapt and change up his line and still be able to make a move. Just behind them, though, Marinak and Cucker again fighting for track position, and they're now penned in behind the 24 and the 98 machine.
A guy that we haven't seen run the outside lane so far, that's the 81 of James McIntyre Jr. He's running that outside lane a little higher than we have seen anybody else. As he works down the front stretch to see if he takes to the high line again. He does. You see him out there just about the third lane, almost out of the complete black on the track. That's fresh real estate up there he's playing with.
Well, that bit of pavement may be a little bit cooler, which may give him a bit better grip, but it doesn't have the rubber down on it, it really looks like, so it may not be the best. Oh, bit of problems for Cucker as he had to slow way up and lost a lot of ground there. And now Marinak, he's making a move. He's got around that 98 machine, and 98 of Stump now trying to see if he can make up some ground again while getting back to his usual place on the high line.
As right now, the 98 of Chris Stump, he's fallen back into the clutches of these guys. He was not able to get to that outside lane as Steven Marinak worked around him about a lap ago. As these guys are battling it out, let's see if he can hang on there and see him running the middle lane now. He's kind of worked his way down the track. The 81 of James McIntyre sitting there in 5th right now. He was shooting for a top 15 coming into the night, and currently he's running in 5th, so he's putting on one heck of a show coming through the field so far. He had a great qualifying attempt, running 5th now, seeing if he can run down that 98 of Chris Stump. As 70 of Dylan Canova out there battling the 88 of Jake Watson right now, as we actually have dropped Kelly Dahl. He is out of the booth right now. I am up here with you guys for the rest of the way currently. The 69 of Matt Coker working over that 89 there of Chris Stump. not able to get it that time as he ducks back in line right in front of that 81 James McIntyre. Right now, the 69 jumps down to the inside. Not going to have a run there on that 89. He's going to tuck back in line. Going back a little bit, there's that 88. He's battling right now on the inside of Will DeVecchi in that 30 as they rub doors going into one. That's going to shoot the 30 of Will DeVecchi up the track. The 88's going to take the position that's going to put DeVecchi back there into the clutches of the 18 of AJ Hamels. That's now a battle for the 9th and 10th position.
Hamill decides to back out, and that's going to allow Dravicki to take control of that position and kind of hold on to 9th place and stop the bleeding. Just behind them, looks like Orion's got into the wall, and that sends Bartels shooting down towards the inside line to kind of get around him and try to take advantage of that mistake. And now they are door to door going through turns, now going down the back straight. Bit of an advantage to the 9 machine on that high line, but Brett Bartels really working that inside line to his advantage as much as possible.
Well, welcome back to the booth, Kelly. As I look up front, Justin McAteer in that 20, he's just kind of running away. He's got about a half-second lead over the 24, Sean Cool. Stefan Mirnak is right there on the back bumper of that 24, not letting him get away. Those two, we saw them work in the inside lane. We're wondering if they have any tires left on these cars. We're not quite halfway yet, but it's getting time.
AJ Hamill now making the move on Dravicki. He's going to get around him going through the inside through turns 3 and 4. Dravicki now all over the bumper of the 18, but the 18 not shaking one bit. Taking a quick peek at the, caution on the racetrack. Going to be a bit further back in the field, and that's looking like it was possibly, I'm not seeing actually who it was. Yeah, it looks like it was the Blake Neer in the 14 machine that actually bring out that caution. As he went spinning on the back half, taking a quick look at it now, going across the line. He was 3 wide with the 41 and the 61 of AJ Charles and Danny Dubuque. Got into the 61 machine, and that caused him to spin down the back half of the front straightaway and into turn number 1, but doesn't look like there's going to be that much damage to that 14 machine. He kind of just got a little bit of a bump with the 61 and slid perfectly on the racetrack, kept himself off of either wall, and that's going to probably allow the 14 to stay within this battle. But started in not the best night for the 14 machine. Started in 5th, and now he's dropped all the way back to 26th.
All right, well, this unfortunate caution came out here with the 14 of Blake Neer. We're going to step away for just a second. We'll be back with you guys over here with the Upstate Racing League. You won't miss a thing.
Welcome back to the Upstate Racing League Coaches Corner Pro Late Model Series as Justin McDuff continues to put on a clinic here. Lap 56 going into the books. He's already up to 44 laps led, and it's looking like he's going to lead at least half of this 108 lap race. As now the lights, I think, are going out on the pace car. This is our third caution of the night. Lights are out on the pace car, and interestingly enough, McDuff is choosing to take the inside line this time, as the last couple times he chose the outside line to kind of hold off the 98 machine of Stump. But now he's got Sean Cool to his outside, and now it's seeming like he thinks maybe the inside line is going to be a bit better for him.
He's going to choose the inside lane here, Justin McDuff. But look at that number 2 car. He's going to start there on the inside lane. And look at that number 98, Chris Stump. He's back all the way to 5th now. He's kind of cooled off there a little bit.
All right, well, now the pace car is going to come through the turn number 4, dive down and away. Number 20 machine of Justin McDuff getting a great jump, and so does Steph Marinac getting a huge jump on that inside, and that's going to allow him to get around and nearly clear the 24 machine before the first corner. And Marinac wanted to make a charge to the lead and try to get a car between him and that 69 machine of Matt Cucker, but Justin McDuff continuing, contact back in the field too, the Cool and Marinac bumping doors going into turn number 3, and that's going to allow Cucker to get in between them, and that's going to move Matt Cucker into 3rd. Sean Cool back to 4th, able to hold on to that race car after getting a big wobble from that contact.
Let's see if the 24 can gather himself, get back on the reins, and make a charge towards the 69 there of Matt Coker. Right now, Matt Coker goes to the inside of the 2 of Stefan Marinac there for the 2nd position. He won't have the run coming off the corner as the 2 is going to wind it up. He's going to have the run. Back in the field a little bit, you got the 88. You see Sean Cool back there just chopped the front end off of Chris Stump working down the front stretch as he gets away, as Stump had to check up just a little bit so he wouldn't run him over. As the 88 now mounts a charge of Jake Watson. He's going to jump to the inside there of Chris Stump working through turn 3 and 4.
Well, Steph Marinac just holding off Matt Cucker as much as possible, but as he's trying to hold off that 69 machine, that's allowing Justin McDuff to extend his lead. He's already up to nearly 4/10 of a second, and now Cucker going to make a move to the inside of that 2 of Steph Marinac. Now they're getting just his nose to the inside quarter panel of Marinac, and Sean Cool as well wanted to get himself back involved in this battle up in the front, and now Cucker getting his nose up to the door of Marinac, and now they're going to be even up going into turns 1 and 2. Marinac trying to use that high line to get the better run off the corner of it. Cucker, he's found the grip on the inside. We've seen the high line be the faster line throughout the night, but Cucker, he's just somehow able to make that work.
Not enough room, though, off turn 4 right now for the 69 to slide up in front of the 2 as he's about at the back fender. That is Stefan Marinac there on the outside of the 69. But just right behind them, you also got Chris Stump there working over Sean Cool. Sean Cool was in that little scuffle there with the 2 machine on the restart, so I'm sure he wants to get back to the front here and battle it up with the 2 and get back around him as the 69 is working over the 2 again. He's going to slide up this time as the 2 looks like he's going to cross him over, go back to the inside on him.
Marinac trying to work that crossover, had a good run through the front straightaway, and getting a big lock up into the first turn, and maybe a bit of a wobble and not too much speed off the corner for him, so he's going to lose ground to Cucker and now get into the clutches of Sean Cool. Sean just able to get his nose up into the outside, and Marinac now struggling on that inside line. He can't find the speed just like Cucker did a few laps ago.
Stefan Marinac, we saw him work through the field as he started 7th, currently sitting 3rd, but he's under pressure from Sean Cool. Sean Cool has the outside. That seems to be the preferred line right now as Stefan Marinac is kind of struggling there. That's also going to bring Chris Stump back into the picture. He's looking to the outside of these 2 as they work off turn 4, but door to door down the front, still Stefan Marinac and Sean Cool. We're on board with the 88 of Jake Watson as we watch him battle, working his way through the field on the inside lane there, trying to make up ground on Chris Stump.
Side by side though, the 24 and the 2 machine, and looks like Chris Stump, he's trying to work that very high line once again, and if he makes that move, and he might be able to go 3 wide, and he's actually got a good run through the front straightaway, but doesn't have anywhere to go with the roadblock of the 2 and the 24 machine still door-to-door completely even up. But neither one of them is wanting to give up as we're now into the latter half of this race.
Jake Watson, though, still putting on the pressure there. He came all the way from 19th, currently sitting there in that 6th position. He wants to battle it out with these guys, as we saw Chris Stump get a little tight there coming off turn 4. Might have got into the wall once again with that right front fender. He's already been into the wall once coming off turn 4. But just as we look behind them, James McIntyre is running that way high line right behind them, sitting in the 7th position.
Yeah, going on board now with the 24 as he battles it out with the 2 of Marinac. Marinac now going to lose that battle slot in behind the 24. And Chris Stump, he's trying to reverse his luck and make forward progress once again as he just dropped from 1st all the way to 5th over the course of these last 69 laps. And now he's still trying to work that 3rd lane line through turns 3 and 4, but just not quite able to get enough speed off the corner with that.
Going a little bit farther in the field, we have a battle back here between the 70 of Dylan Canova and the 30 of Will DeVecchi. We saw Will DeVecchi in a little incident early on there with, I believe it was the 2 car. He's worked his way back up to the 9th position. He's mounting a charge.
Yeah, Dravicki now trying to make the move, but at the same time, just behind them, AJ Hamill trying to find a gap, but now that's opened it up for Brett Bartels, who took a peek to the inside there, and we're starting to have a bit of a battle throughout this 8th to 11th place. Again, Hamill nearly getting into the bumper of that 30 machine as they go. Those 4 cars are packed so extremely tight. As again, Hamill going to make the move, but slams on the brakes as Dravicki goes to the inside line, and that was nearly an accident.
Dravicki still looking on the inside lane of that number 70 of Dylan Canova as he is door-to-door with him going into turn 1. Will he have the grip, or will the 70 have the momentum off the top line as we work out of turn 2? The 70 has that momentum off the top that's going to drop the 30 back to the quarter panel as he drives it in real hard into turn 3. Door-to-door they go again. Will he have the grip off 4? Will he be able to maintain? It looks like not quite the grip yet down on the inside, as the outside still the preferred lane, working into turn 1.
Going back towards the front of the field, Steph Marinac has been able to get himself around Sean Cool, but Sean is not going to take this line down. He's trying to battle back on the inside line, but taking that peek to the inside line allowed the 98 machine to get back close to him, and possibly now Chris Stump's going to be able to make a move, but if Stump tries to make a move, he might lose a spot to Jake Watson, who's just trying to look for any gap that he can at this moment.
As we have a battle right there for that 3rd, 4th, 5th position. But up front, it's still Justin McDuff. He's got about a half-second lead right now over the 69 of Matt Coker, as they're just kind of running away with it right now. It's a whole second back to the 3rd place car, the number 2 of Stefan Mirinac, as he's battling it out back there real hard with the 24 Sean Cool, as this 24 actually right now is currently door-to-door with the 89. 89 going to the inside. That's Chris Stump seeing if he can make that inside line work. We haven't seen him run too much to the inside. Gets a great run, though.
Yeah, he went from high to low on the front straightaway, and now he's actually found a bit of speed down there as everyone's run the high line. It's made the high line a little bit warmer, and now there's some good grip comparatively on that inside line. He throws a bit of a slider on Sean Cool, but Sean is going to try to battle back, but looks like Sean actually got a little bit loose in turn number 2, and we've seen a lot of cars get loose there throughout the night, so now Cool's just trying to see if he can hold on to that 3rd place or that 4th place spot after losing 3rd place to Steph Marinac. But just behind him, though, is Jake Watson, and Jake is just looking for any sort of gap he can make to continue his charge up to the front of the field.
Jake Watson currently looking to the inside there of the 24 of Sean Cool as they work around that lap car, the number 33 of Scott Noslin. 3 wide as they were there for a second, going into 3 and 4, but the 88 looks like he has a little bit of grip there on the inside, trying to take that position from the 24. Currently still side by side as they cross the stripe.
Bit of an advantage to that 88 machine right now, and that's the thing with oval racing, is the track is alive. The track will heat up and cool depending on where the cars are running, and if the high line may have been the better line earlier, but now that middle line or that inside line's kind of cooled off a bit, Now that inside line kind of has more grip compared to the outside line, and that's allowed these guys to start working the inside a lot more. 3 wide going into the first turn. Bit of contact for Sean Cool as he got into a lap car. Now big wreck on the front or on the back straightaway. The 88 machine is in the wall.
The 30 of Will DeVecchi also involved. Sean Cool around. Brett Bartles involved in that. Bunch of guys. They're still going door to door down the backstretch.
So guys, we've gone to our MaxSpeedTV replay here. You can see Sean Cool trying to drive down underneath the 88 of Watson, but the lap car, the 65 machine, really pinches these guys off tight. He had nowhere to go, and it forces a 3-wide issue as they all dive down into one. Slight contact and major contact sends these guys around. James McIntyre getting a piece of it, Will Dravecki, and then Brett Bartles piling in to the 24, Sean Cool.
That's not what Sean Cool wanted as he drove to the inside there. Unfortunately getting wrapped up. Bunch of good cars wrapped up into that wreck. Not what they wanted to see here tonight as we are just over halfway. We actually got 28 laps to go here.
Yeah, that just happened because a couple cars were trying to get around a lap car that was just slowly making his way on the inside. And that lap car thought he was safe on the inside considering how many cars were running the high line, because all the leaders in front of him were running the high line, but now those two guys came up alongside him trying to battle for that inside line because they had both found out that inside line was so fast, and they ended up just kind of pinching that lap car down to the yellow line, made contact with him, and everything just kind of spiraled out from there.
But back up front, we still got Justin McDuff. He's up there. Matt Coker right there in second place. Stefan Miranak third place. Chris Stump there in fourth. That's going to now allow the 70 of Dylan Canova to be in fifth place.
Yeah, that's going to shake things up a little bit as now Cuckard's going to get a chance to really try to go after McDuff, and we haven't seen Cucker start in second place. He kind of got around Maranak and started to pull away from the rest of the field just like McDuff did, but now we're going to see what happens that now that McDuff doesn't get a bit of a head start over Cucker.
Got a bunch of shakeups up here. Now we got Rex Hoyer sitting in that 9th position. Brett Bartles, he got a little bit of damage there with that that crash there, but he's still running. He's out there in 8th place. AJ Hamill's also sitting right there in the number 18. Going to be 7th place. So we're going to see a lot of interesting things happen here with these guys. Guys who weren't quite up in the top 10, top 5, now they're there. Now they're knocking on the door. You got a couple of those guys out of the way. They might have been a little bit slower, just couldn't get around them. Now they're going to have a shot. Things are about to get interesting as we got 27 to go.
Yeah, not too long left now, and McDuff has controlled pretty much this entire race up to this point, but now he's going to face a huge challenge as he's got last season's champion behind him and the championship runner-up just sitting in 3rd place. So McDuff may have been the fastest car up to this point, but now he's really going to have to prove it. He's got possibly the 2 fastest drivers in this league right on his tail.
It is going to be interesting to see if he can hold them off, which lane's going to work for him, as we've seen this track kind of transition. We saw the 98 of Chris Stump running that outside early on. McDuff ran the inside, got past him, and now the groove has kind of worked its way back down the track. So we're gonna see how this track transitions yet, because we still have some racing to go. Will Justin McDuff choose the outside here, or will he choose the inside lane? Which one do you think he's better off choosing right here?
Either way, he's going to have to get a good jump because Matt Cucker is a guy that can really adapt to these track changes. And that's the thing with oval racing, is the track is alive. The high line may be the best place to run, but then that's going to heat up. The low line is going to be the best place to run, and then if too many people run that, then that's going to heat up. So you've got to just get a feel for where the different levels of grip are depending on where you are on the track. And there's a bit of rubber down on that inside line, and if it's cooled off enough, that's going to allow Cucker to really get a good run on Justin McDuff, but McDuff has decided to choose the high line.
So you're saying he's gonna have to choose the outline because that's gonna, or the outside line because that's gonna be the place to be as we're about to get back going green here. Kelly, why don't you bring us down?
Well, Justin McDuff's going to lead the field to the green flag as he's done pretty much every time this tonight, as he's taken control of this race and has not looked back since. But as we mentioned, he's got his work cut out for him now. Field going through turns 3 and 4, pace car down and away. McDuff immediately getting on the gas, but looks like pretty much everyone predicted that as the 98 gets on, is right on it, as well as the 69. Now it looks like the bit of a loser there is the number 2, as he didn't quite get as good of a start as those other 2 cars in front of him. He's going to lose a position to the 98 machine, and now coming down the back straightaway, the 98 is going to take a look to the inside of the 69, and he's going to try to make a move to go to second place as Chris Stump is beginning his comeback from 5th, started in 1st, dropped back to 5th. He's now up to 3rd and looking for more.
Chris Stump looking to the inside as we work down the front stretch. Can he find the grip to the bottom? As the 69 pulls a little bit ahead of him, he's going to pinch it down to the bottom. He's going to take that air off the front end there of Chris Stump as they work down the back stretch. Now he's going to mount the attack on that number 20 of Justin McDuff. Does he have enough left in the tank? Did he save enough tires to mount this attack to go to the outside on the 20 and get around him?
Yeah, that's the big question. These guys cannot change their tires, and they've been running the same set all night. And the big question is, has Justin just been allowed to save his tires and run smoothly and slowly up in the clean air out front? Well, Cuckers had to battle his way through the field from 9th to take this current spot in 2nd. And they're already starting to open up a bit of a gap over the 98 machine of Stump, but now Stump getting a good run off that 3rd lane as he's been running many times throughout the night, and that's allowed him to kind of keep pace with the 69 machine and keep himself in this battle.
A little bit farther back in the field, though, we have a guy that's running back through the field, the number 14 of Blake Neer. We saw him spin out early in the race. He had to go all the way back to right around I want to say the 30th position at one point when he spun it around. Now back in the top 10, currently sitting in that 8th place.
Yeah, but he doesn't have much time left here as we're about to go on to the 90th lap out of 108, and really Justin McDuff has led almost every single one of them. I think he's led all but maybe 12 laps here tonight, and really it's just been a dominating night for that 20 machine. He's just kind of come out of nowhere to really take control of this race, and now just proving his worth, holding off the defending series champion of Matt Cucker.
He is out front, leading the way, setting the pace as he's gone back to the bottom. The 69 of Matt Coker, he's kind of running that middle lane, entering, kind of all but coming back down to the bottom. He's still got that 98 of Chris Stump there. Stefan Mirnek, we've seen him have some great runs. I'm sure those tires are wearing off as he's been running that 2 car hard here tonight.
And I think that's why the 2 car has kind of dropped off a bit in pace. He was able to challenge for the 2nd place earlier on, but now he's dropped back into 4th, and I think that's because those tires might be burnt off a little bit underneath him, and I think that's also why that 98 machine's dropping back a little bit as well, as he's been pushing hard, battling through the field. And Matt Cucker, he's a guy that's able to really work the long run, and he's able to save up those tires and find the cooler parts of the track. But Justin McDuff has just got a fast race car underneath of him, but we're getting down towards the last 10 laps, but the caution is going to come out on the racetrack, and I believe it is Andy Lambert, possibly. No, it is actually someone else. Trying to take a look at who brought out that yellow, and not able to see it at the moment.
Looks like it might be the 22 of Mike Holtzclaw. Not finding it. He's sliding through the grass. I see that, but I'm not sure what happened as he blinked off my screen.
Yeah, guys, we're going to go to our MaxSpeedTV replay and see if we can track down what happened to Mike Holtzclaw in this 22 machine. Looks like he might have lost it down the front stretch, but also trying to see if we can get an internet connection to work. And unfortunately, we're not going to be able to bring this replay to you very nicely.
Working off turn 4, it looks like he was just to the outside there of the 41 of AJ Childs, and AJ just might have slid up a little bit gets into that left rear quarter panel. That shoots the 22 down through the inside grass, and that's where I lose him. He goes off screen there. He blinks out because of neckwork connection. Comes back into the turn there in turn 1, slaps the outside wall.
Yes, that's probably what brought out that caution, and I think once we go back green, we'll have around 10 laps to go, and things were starting to look pretty interesting between the 20 and the 69 machine. It looked like Cucker had the speed to keep, he was able to match the 20 step for step, but just didn't quite have the speed to make a pass. But it was possible that he was kind of biding his time, waiting for the right moment. But now we're going to have to wonder if when we go green, he might make a challenge, but we're going to take a quick step aside until we go back green. But don't go anywhere. You're watching the Upstate Racing League Coach's Corner Pro Late Model Series on MaxSpeedTV.
This portion of the Upstate Racing League's Coach's Corner Pro Late Model Series on MaxSpeedTV is brought to you by NHR, Eddie's Meat Market, Doubles Bowl Speedway, Vermont's fastest half mile, Atomic Graphics,
MaxSpeedTV would like to thank our partners here at MaxSpeedTV, starting with the Colby Eye Paints. If you're in the market for a new paint job for your car, check out Colby's Eye Paints on Facebook. Need a replica paint of your real-life car? Colby's Eye Paints has you covered. Check out Colby Eye Paints on Facebook. Also by Hershey Design. Hershey Design Company is your one-stop graphics shop. If you're in need of an iRacing paint, league, team, or business logo, or want the logo on some sweet swag, hit up Orion at the Hershey Design Company. You can find them on Facebook by searching HERSHY Design Company. Also by the Sim Speed Shop, simspeedshop.com. You can check them out for all your iRacing sim needs. Ohio IndyCar League jumping on board this season with as an official sponsor of MaxSpeedTV. They are also accepting not just patrons from Ohio, but from all over. Also, iBog for all your iRacing broadcast overlay graphics done specifically by Jason Allison, one of the masters at it. So thank you to Jason. And also, last but not least, Wise Guys. You can check them out at Reverb Nation. That is spelt with a Z. So check them out on Reverb Nation. We would like to thank all of the sponsors at MaxSpeedTV and partners.
Welcome back to the Upstate Racing League Coach's Corner Pro Late Model Series as Justin McDuff is continuing to lead this large field as we're going to get ready to go green for what might be the final time. We'll have about 11 laps on the clock once the green flag waves. We'll be on lap 98 out of 108. Now Matt Cucker going to be on the inside of that 20 machine. We saw Justin make the jump immediately on last time. The pace car was down on the way. He immediately got on the gas, and I think everyone's going to know that's coming this time around. So watch for maybe Cucker to be on the inside going to turn number 1, though. So we're going to see what happens in just a few moments. Pace car down and away. Again, McDuff getting right on the gas, and so does Cucker, but Dick McDuff is going to clear that 69 machine just before the line. Now Matt Cucker going to slot in behind him, just behind, though. Steph Marinac and Chris Stump battling it out, and look at A.J. Hamill. He's made it up. Oh, bit of a wobble from Cucker as he got into the 20 machine, it actually looked like, and now that's dropped him way back, and now Steph Marinac's going to be on his outside.
Steph Marinac now on the outside of the 69 and Matt Coker. As this 14 is up into the wall, the Blake near into the wall, it's going to shuffle those guys back there as they scatter around him.
McDuff is liking what he sees in his rearview mirror. If these guys battle and have these problems behind him, he's going to be able to just walk away with this. But now it looks like the 2 machine has got himself some clear track and can put down some fast lap times to close the gap, possibly. But now it seems like a lot of these drivers are running that inside line once again, and that's possibly going to heat up that inside line. So watch for a few drivers to maybe work that outside line towards the last few laps and maybe have some momentum up there.
Does the two of Stefan Mirnak have anything left in the tank? As we saw the 98 there of Chris Stump come off the corner of turn 2 and get a little high. Didn't quite get the wall, but got a little high, a little close, or a little too close for comfort. The 18 of AJ Hamels right there in 5th place. He is on the move right now. We haven't talked about him much, but now the closing laps, he's there. What does he have left in the tank?
Looks like Marinak's trying to find the speed. Didn't quite find it there through turns 1 and 2. That's dropped him back towards the 69 of Matt Cucker. Matt trying to find the fastest way around that 2 machine, and that may come soon because the 2 does not have the speed. We're now on to lap 102 out of 108. So the clock is ticking for these guys to make one last gap, one last push for the race lead.
As we got 7 to go, as we work down the backstretch, we see the 69 of Matt jump to the inside there of the 2 of Mirnak. Is he going to be able to hold it? He slides up a little bit through the middle of the corner. That's going to give the 2 another run on the outside. Let's see if he can throw it down into turn 1 and do it again. Right there is Chris Stump also waiting for those guys to make a slip right there in front of him as the 2 goes high through 1 and 2.
This is what McDuff wants to see. He wants to see those guys battling behind him so they don't have the opportunity to close the gap on him. But even while battling, it looks like Cucker and Marinak are holding some speed, but there's still about a 0.3 of a second gap to the race leader. And that's about the same. Grew just very slightly on that last lap, as now we're getting within 5 to go.
Stefan Mirnak running that outside line. It looks like he's just not able to put the power down coming off the corner anymore as he runs that inside line. As the 69 is going to slide up in front of the 2 coming out of turn 4. The 2 is going to cross him over down the front stretch. And here comes Chris Stump now pushing the 2 down the front stretch going into turn 1. Stefan Mirnak now has that inside lane. He has the preferred lane on the 69. Let's see how it turns out coming out of turn 2.
And it's possible Cucker maybe thought the speed was going to be on the high line, so he quickly tried to swap up with Marinak, but they are still even up. A little bit of an advantage there to Marinak through the middle of 3 and 4, but now on the outside is going to be the 69 of Cucker. Give the advantage to the 2 at the line there, but even while battling, they're still losing more ground. They're now half a second back to Justin McDuff, and they are running out of time to chase him down. Lap 106, we got 3 to go. Now coming up to the 2 to go. Popsicle sticks are going to be in the air this time by.
Coming out of turn 4, right in front of the leader, in front of Justin McDuff. You see the lap car. He's going to go high. He's going to give way to the leader. He wants nothing to do with this battle. He's going to stay high for the next guys to come by, as they're still 2 by 2 with Stefan Mirnak on the inside, the 69 of Coker. As we see,
big slide for the 98. Chris Stump.
Split off turn 2 there. He's going to be out of the contention now. Now it's still side by side with the 2 and the 69 fighting it out for second place.
White flag in the air for the number 20 of Justin McDuff, but the big battle is just behind them for second place, as the 2 and the 69 have been door to door for the last few laps. Bit of a wobble there on the inside for Marinak, as now that's going to be an advantage to Matt Cucker, but now going to the closing moments of the first race of this season, and this is the first race, and really in dominating fashion, Justin McDuff wins in absolutely dominating fashion. McDuff getting off to a great start for this season.
McDuff's going to put that 20 in victory lane here tonight, but that was a tough fought battle there for second place. Those guys battled side by side for most of the night. That's the 69 of Matt Coker and the 2 of Stefan Mirnak. AJ Hamels had a great showing also there in 4th place. Dylan Canova bringing it home in 5th. We're going to step away for one moment. We're going to get to this post-race here for Upstate Racing, Coach's Corner. We'll be right back with you. And we are back here with the Upstate Racing League. We just saw them put on one heck of a show here for the opening race at Iowa Speedway. And we got your winner here tonight. We got Justin McDuff up in the booth. Justin, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you. How you doing?
We're doing great. Hey, heck of a show out there that you guys put on. You started back there in the second position. You ran up in those 1, 2. I think you were as far back as maybe third here this night. But you pretty much did it in dominating fashion once you got out front. You led 97 laps out of the 109. How did you do it tonight? Where was the grip?
Well, I was a little bit better there earlier than Stump, and I was able to really roll the bottom in 3 and 4, and that's kind of where I was getting my runs, and that's kind of where it seemed to be where I worked the best all night. 1 and 2, I felt like I was a little bit slower than those guys, but once I got out there, I was just trying to manage my stuff. I knew it was a long race, and once you get guys like Cooker and Marinak and even Stump behind you, you can't turn a wheel wrong, else they'll be by you in an instant. So I just try to hit my marks and survive on all those restarts. I really hated to see those restarts. I felt like I was pretty good there on that run. I started to get away, but luckily we were able to bring it home.
Yeah, on those restarts, we saw you start there on the outside lane. Was that by design or plan? Because we saw you working that inside lane, obviously, early on in this race, and then you had moved to the outside. Is the outside the place to be on a restart?
I felt like I was able to get a better run through 1 and 2 and gap a little bit to the car in second. When I started on the outside, I kind of used the whole track getting into 1 if I would clear the guy to my inside. And then, the one time I took the inside there, I was trying to stay lined up with the right guys, to the ones that I knew were really fast early in the run, to get out in front there and gap those guys. So, there wasn't really any science behind it. I was just trying to put myself with the cars that I knew that I would be able to get out in front of, and then they'd get to racing, and then I could try to get away a little bit.
Were you worried at taking that outside lane that on those couple late restarts that, the 69 of Matt Coker or the Steven Marinak also started up there at one point, that they were going to be able to get a jump with you coming down the front stretch and dive in under you going into turn 1?
I was more concerned, actually, the one time I started on the inside, that I think it was a 24 was to my outside, that he would be able to stay with me and pinch me down. I knew that if I was able to at least maintain position, if they did get to my inside, I'd get the run off a corner and be able to clear them. So I wasn't too worried about it when I started up on the outside there.
Well, hey, that's one heck of a way to come out here in the first race of the season here at Iowa. Led 97 laps out of the 109. Congratulations on your first win. Not a bad way to start the season. Anybody you got to give a shout out to who puts this on? Any sponsors out there on that vehicle?
Thank you. Well, first I want to give a shout out to my Empire Racing teammates, Stefan Marinak, Chris Stump, and AJ Hamill. Hamill especially, him and I work together a lot, practicing and kind of just pushing each other, and we all were kind of racing each other really hard tonight up front there, especially towards the end. But we took care of each other and were able to bring it home. I got to thank Art's Barbershop of Morrisville, Vermont. Art, if you're watching, and I hope you enjoyed the race, and glad we were able to get the win for you. And most importantly, the Cerebral Palsy Foundation, I put out in my car in memory of my brother. He was born with cerebral palsy, and I think it's an honor to be able to represent them and put it out in my car. And one last shout out to you guys and to Al Smith for all he does. He puts a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this league, and we had 34 cars here tonight, so that was a really great turnout, and it was a pretty exciting race, I hope, for everyone out there.
Absolutely. Well, hey, congratulations. The first one's in the books here. You're the winner. Nobody can take it from you. We're going to load up and move on next week. Hope to talk to you again.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Kelly, I believe you caught up with our second place finisher.
Yeah, now we're going to talk to our second place finisher of the night, the driver of the number 69 machine, Matt Coker. Matt, you here with us?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Matt, you should be no stranger to this after really how well you performed last season, and you really did start out strong here to start this season off. You didn't have the best start to this race, starting all the way back in 9th, but you were able to come back and fight your way back up to 2nd. And really, how did you go about making your way through all that traffic?
I mean, it was tough. I mean, I think we lost the race in qualifying tonight. I mean, just to pass people, it was really hard to do, and you had to throw sliders, and you had to take away their line without trying to hit them or anything. It was hard, and luckily I was able to do it to get the 2nd, and just one spot short of the W, so we'll take it.
Well, with a strong finish and a strong start to your season like this, do you feel like this maybe gives you a bit of momentum going forward into the rest of the season?
I wouldn't say it gives us momentum. It's just, yeah, this is a big track. I'm not really a big track kind of guy for these late models. I'm more of a short track guy, and these big tracks, I said it last year, and I'll say it again this year. I mean, they're not my favorite. I don't like going flat out all the time. I like lifting and braking, and hopefully when we get to the short tracks, we'll be then when I have a podium finish in there, then we'll say we got some momentum. But till then, I think this was just in the right spot at the right time, and on the restarts, we were in the right line.
All right, Matt. Well, before we let you go, thank you very much for coming and talking to us. And who would you like to thank for this finish here tonight?
I gotta thank Team Vincier, Turn 3 Auto Transport, Peterson Irrigation, Globalcom, and I Analyze. So I gotta thank you guys for broadcasting here, and Al Smith with the Upstate Racing League for putting the show on.
All right, thank you, Matt, and hopefully we'll talk to you again in a few weeks' time, maybe even next week.
I hope so. We'll see.
All right, that was the driver in the number 69 machine, Matt Cucker, our second place finisher of the night. And now I'm going to send it back to Roger, who I believe is going to be talking with our third place finisher.
That's right, Kelly. I got in here in the booth with us right now, the third place finisher. We saw him start in 7th place. He brought that number 2 machine home in the 3rd place. Stefan Mirnak, you got a copy.
Yes, sir.
Well, Stefan, congratulations on your 3rd place finish out here tonight. We saw some great racing, some side-by-side all night with you. You had your work cut out there. You were battling side-by-side the whole race. How'd you do it? Where was the grip?
Well, I got really lucky to start the race in 7th because my computer crashed with like 10 minutes left in qualifying, and I got back in just in time. So I was very fortunate to start that high up, and just had to keep battling people. I could never really get to the lead. I'd always get caught from like 2nd to 4th. And I just didn't really have enough speed to get up any farther than that. And I think I burned up my tires in the first half of the race, just racing people. I had a really tough, good race with Sean, but a couple times actually, and I think I just burned my tires off. But it was fun, and big congrats to my teammate Justin McDuff for winning.
Absolutely. Your teammate Justin McDuff putting it in victory lane here tonight as you brought it home 3rd. We saw you charging hard on that inside lane early on. Is that where you were able to make most of your moves? I didn't see you move I saw you move to the outside at one point, but it didn't seem like you worked all too well out there on the outside lane.
Yeah, I think the inside really worked at the beginning of the race, and that is where I made up a lot of my spots. But as the race went on, I think I was better on the outside than I was on the inside, at least defending. So, but yeah, the inside definitely at the beginning, like when there wasn't a lot of rubber on the track, it was pretty fast. And, I got from 7th to 3rd, I think, down there.
Well, 3rd place finish, you're going to bring that number 2 machine home. Do you think you had anything in the tank, though, for your teammate up front there?
No. When I got to him, no. But I do think I burned off my tires a little bit just racing around people. But, yeah, I mean, when I got up there, 2nd, 3rd place, I mean, it was pretty obvious. Like, they were pulling away from me every run.
Well, hey, 3rd place is not a bad place to start off the year. It's going to be a great points night out here for you. Also a great points night for your team. And also, that's going to be a great points night for Toyota in general. So, hey, congratulations on your 3rd place finish one last time. Anybody you got to give a shout out to out there?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, just my teammates at Empire and Al Smith for putting all this on. I've been a part of this league now for 3 years, and it's probably my favorite league that I've ever run in on iRacing. And you guys for doing the broadcasts, and Coach's Corner for sponsoring the race.
All right. Hey, we're glad to be here. We got to thank you guys for having us here also. But that's going to do it for our top 3. Kelly, we saw a lot of great racing out there. Side-by-side, door-to-door, slide jobs, middle groove, 3 wide. It was all out there tonight.
Yeah, and that's just something you can expect from this series, and I think this is a great place to start Iowa and these cars. And I know Matt Cucker doesn't really like it, but it always puts on an exciting show, and that's just, like I said, what to expect from the Upstate Racing League is you've got a lot of these guys that are just so close in performance, and all these guys know really how to work the track, and that makes for some very exciting racing.
Absolutely. This is a great place. And no, like you did say, Matt Coker, not a fan of these large tracks. This is one of the larger tracks that we're going to see on the schedule this year. Is we're going to work to quite a few real short, tight tracks that are probably going to be a bottom groove feeder. So it was good to see these cars out here on a track where there was multiple grooves and you had to search for it. Just a bang-up job here by these guys. I'm happy that I'm allowed to be in here at the booth with you and watch these guys put on one heck of a show.
Well, we're going to do a quick run through of our race results. As mentioned, Justin McDuff absolutely dominated this race, leading 97 out of 108 laps. Finishing in second was Matt Cucker. Steph Marinac finished in third. You already heard from all three of those guys. AJ Hamill came home in fourth after starting in 16th. Dylan Canova in fifth. Rex Hoyle finished in sixth. Chris Stump in seventh. Alex Oriens finishes 8th. John Minyoka finishes 9th. Al Smith Jr. rounds out our top 10. Blake Neer finishes in 11th. Danny Dubuque will come home in 12th. James McIntyre brings it home in 13th. 14th goes to Brian Rogers Jr. And Andy Lambert rounds out the top half of our field.
16th place is going to go to the number 1 of Jeremy Carpenter. The 64 Tony Rice brings it home 17th. 18th position is going to go to the 36 of Mark Royer. The 19th position going to go to the 98 of Thomas Miter. The 20th position is going to go to the 34 of Jeremy Watkins. Bringing it home in 21st position, that's going to be the 22. We saw him have a little issue slide through the infield grass. That's going to be Mike Holtzclaw. 22nd position is going to go to the 41 of AJ Childs. The 23rd position is going to go to the 42 of Brett Bartles. Bringing it home in the 24th position. That's going to be the 24 we saw in battle up front today. Unfortunately, got wrapped up in a little incident. John Cool, he's going to bring it home 24th. 25th position is going to go to the 02 of Josh Mayu. The 26th position is going to be the 45 of Doug. I'll get your name right one day, Wasaski, I'm going to say. The 27th position is going to be the 90 of Matthew Roll. 28th position is going to be the 30 of Will Dervecki. The 29th position is going to be the 88 of Jake Watson. We saw him battling up front along with that 30 car, unfortunately wrapped up in one of those large accidents out there. The 30th position, though, the 65 of Jay Dubuque. Bringing it home in the 31st position, the 33 of Scott Noslin. The 32nd position is going to go to the 413 of Wayne McDuff III. Bringing it home, shotgunned on the field. We saw him have a little bit of an incident early on. That's going to be the number 11 of Brian Hacker.
Well, that's going to pretty much do it for us here tonight. And as you mentioned, it's a fantastic race, and I hope everyone else out there enjoyed it. And really, I think we have a lot to look forward to for this season.
Absolutely. The Upstate Racing League over here, Coach's Corner. It's going to be one exciting ride over here on MaxSpeedTV. I'm excited. You're excited. KR, who's behind the scenes, we got to give a shout out to him. Thank you to him for putting all these overlays on the screen for us tonight, giving us the inside information. But I think that's going to do it for us over here tonight, Kelly.
Yeah, that's going to do it for us. So on behalf of myself, Roger, and KR, we'd like to thank you very much for joining us here tonight. And we'll hope to see you next week when we go back to racing with the Upstate Racing League Coach's Corner Pro Late Model Series. But until then, we'll see you next time.
The Upstate Racing League hopes you enjoyed this broadcast on MaxSpeedTV, and we thank you for your continued support.